What's going on, ladies and gents, boys and girls, guardians of all ages, Joker back again, once again, and today, people, I'm gonna throw the gauntlet down. I think we need a new weapon rarity, something between legendary and exotic. Now, I know some of your ears may be ringing at the sound of new weapon rarity. You're like, but Joker.
But Joker!
Okay, that's cool. And when it's in the game, that'll be a completely other discussion. But at this time, we have no idea what that consists of. Sure, it could be an entirely new weapon rarity and have tons of weapons in that category. But it could be just black armory weapons, and that's it. So, for the sake of argument, while we may use the black rarity as it's already kind of out there in the vernacular of the Destiny community, or a mythic rarity, I think that would work as well. So, ladies and gents, boys and girls, guardians of all ages, for the sake of argument and my sanity when reading the comments, we're not talking about the supposed leak of the supposed black rarity coming in black armory. Get it? Got it? Good. Moving forward. So the other day I did a video talking about how I would like to buff Malfeasance. It's simply a beautiful exotic. And like so many people were quick to point out, Bungie has stated that they will be buffing it. Of course, those people clearly didn't watch the video because I point to that and I say, well, hey, we have no clue how they're going to do it, and here's how I would change the weapon. So like that change, I want to talk about a hypothetical new weapon rarity. So, exotics have existed in two categories: interesting and game-breakingly powerful. Malfeasance is interesting. Whisper of the Worm is game-breakingly powerful. And this has always been somewhat Bungie's stated mission goal with exotics. But then you run into the practical versus the theoretical. Theoretically, wouldn't it be cool if there was unique, goofy weapons that augmented players' playing styles? Practically, players are going to gravitate towards weapons that make things dead really fast, with really low skill and/or effort involved. In my Malfeasance video, my biggest issue with the weapon was ultimately that it's an exotic. Don't get me wrong, it still needs a buff, but being an exotic does not help. Why would I use this beautiful, beautiful hand cannon in the place of something like Sleeper, Ace of Spades, Whisper of the Worm, Telesto, Graviton Lance, Two-Tailed Fox, or basically anything else? Don't get me wrong, I love Malfeasance. It's a decently statted 180 hand cannon, and 180 hand cannons are kind of the top of the meta right now. It's fun. I have one for PvP. At the time of writing this script, that one has 351 PvP kills. I have another one for PvE, and at the time of writing this script, that one has 2,163 kills. To say I've spent some time with this weapon would be an understatement. That doesn't mean it's good, or even practical. Anyone who's used it will tell you it's not. It's adequate. It's a 180 hand cannon, and 180 hand cannons are good, but at the end of the day, it's not Luna's Howl, and it's not forgotten. Not forgotten? Not forgotten? Yeah, moving forward. Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten are legendary weapons, and they benefit from masterworks and mods to help any inadequacies. Exotics that underperform, like Malfeasance, but could be made better with, say, a range masterwork, or mods like a targeting adjuster, or Icarus grip, or anything basically, because you can put whatever mod you want in it, but you can't do that with exotics. So if an exotic underperforms, we have to wait till Bungie actively does something about it, and that could be days, weeks, months, even years before they get around to it. Which is actually what brought me to the idea of another weapon classification, or rarity, or typing, or whatever you want to call it. We need a place where the more experimental exotics can sit, something that's not an exotic slot, something that allows these weapons to start out with a masterwork slot, or at least a mod slot, in the event that Bungie may want to add a catalyst to the game for these particular weapons. This would allow players to, I don't know, have the novel concept of using these more experimental weapons while not hindering their team by not having access to things like Sleeper, or Whisper, or Tractor Cannon, or any of the more powerhouse weapons. a black or mithril type rarity if you will. Not only could this serve as a place for weapons with interesting perk combinations like Luna's Howl or Redrix's Claymore that clearly should be distinguished outside of legendary weapons, but it gives a place where Bungie can move underperforming exotics and allow players to use these exotics that developers clearly spend a lot of time on without necessarily buffing them or the player using them being a detriment to themselves or their team. These black or mithril weapons could have the same rules as exotics. You can only equip one at a time, but it still allows players to equip exotics and legendaries and one black or mithril weapon. For example, maybe a loadout would consist of one exotic, one black or mithril weapon, and one legendary. Just like Bungie has always needed something between the Nightfall and the Raid, and we're seeing that with the first dungeon, perhaps it's time we see something that's between a legendary and exotic, and perhaps that change can help with some of the more frustrating balance issues. But hey, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below, and like always, stay frosty.